What's up, folks? Mike Wade here, TriviaThrowdownOnline.com. It's time for another book review. We've done like 5 or 6 so far. My latest one, the one that we're going to talk about today, The Complete Guide to Sports Betting by Kevin Dolan. I just got to tell you, I love this book. This is one of the best books I've read in a while. Really, really liked it. Too long, don't want to watch. Just go ahead and buy it. The Complete Guide to Sports Betting, Kevin Dolan. If you want to hear why, we're going to go ahead and talk about that. So let's jump right in. So the first thing I like to talk about when I do any of my book reviews is kind of talk about overview, what the book is. A lot of the other books I've read, especially recently, have also involved like personal stories about the author, kind of their development of their school skill sets, that kind of thing. This book is literally just about sports betting. Look how thin it is. Look, that's the whole book right there. It's under 100 pages. It's just about getting better at sports. It's broken down into 3 parts, which I really like. Part 1, the necessary tools, talks about some terminology, talks about the market, talks about reasonable expectations, expected value, which I know you know about, wildly important. So it kind of gives a good overview of what's going to happen, what's going on in the sports world. Part 2 is his 6 principles, and they're all each individual is one of 6 concise, important, relevant principles to know when you're handicapping and making picks. And part 3, which I really like, is specialization, and it's 5 or 6 chapters on each individual sport: baseball, basketball, football, college football, kind of talking about what makes those markets special and how you beat those markets. So really, that's it. It's just sports betting. The overview, the 6 principles, and specializing, all in this teeny tiny 86-page book. It's straight to the information, right to the brass tacks. That's what this is. This is a quick, effective read on sports betting, and I want to highlight a little bit more of it. So let's get to that. My favorite part about this book is, despite reading all of these books, Twitter, podcasts, been betting 30-40 bets a day for the last 2 years, I still learned some new things from this book. I want to highlight some of the things that stuck out to me. One of the things he talked about is the futures market. To be fair, I do not dabble in the futures market very much. It's just not a market I know a lot about. I don't feel like I'm very sharp in. But he talks about the rollover strategy, which I'd never heard. The rollover strategy is essentially saying, and his example he used was Kansas Jayhawks winning March Madness, which is crazy because it actually just happened. But instead, what he's saying is, instead of getting a futures market at, say, Kansas Jayhawks before this tournament starts to win it all plus 700, take that money and bet on them to win bet a unit on the first game. Take the winnings, bet on the second, bet the third, bet the fourth, bet the fifth, bet the sixth. In most of those situations, it's called the rollover strategy. You're likely going to win more money and get better odds as the future market, which is essentially the same bet. And it's a lot easier to hedge out or take your money away if you see a catastrophic injury at better value. Obviously, you keep everything. You're not paying for some cash out option or something, if the book even offers it. So I thought that was super interesting, just learning something new about the rollover strategy. My point for you is, even if you're an amateur intermediate level bettor, you're likely going to learn a couple new things in this book. It, of course, is going to go over some of the basics, because any good book worth its salt has to go over the basics to kind of make sure we're all on the same level field, we're talking about the same thing. But even still, you are going to learn some new things from this book, this tiny, quick read book that's a piece of cake to read. So for that, I really want to give the author a whole lot of credit. The other thing I want to highlight is the part 3, the specialties section. Now, this isn't a new concept. I've seen this in a couple other books, but I really do like this to have it as a reference. This is the kind of book you can have on your shelf behind you. When college football season rolls back around, I'm going to pick up this book, read that specialties chapter, just to help remind myself what are the trends I'm looking for, what are the angles I should be eyeballing. Every sport, every market is really different. And if you bet a lot, you probably know that. So it's helpful to kind of prime the engine and kind of give you a sense of what you're trying to look for. Make sure you get some sharp bets early in the season when markets are obviously the most vulnerable. So I love the fact that he has these excellent references, these excellent specialty chapters on each sport, just to kind of get you ready for that when the season starts. So of course, now time for the $1 million question. Should you buy it? Probably know the answer. The answer is absolutely. This is such a good buy. There is so much to like about it. It's a quick and easy read. It's chock full of information. It will make you better. Brand new on Amazon. It is $10. It stacks up with all the heavyweight books. I really can't say enough things about this book. I've said in previous videos that I think The Logic of Sports Betting is the best current book out there on the market, but this one, it's really right there with it. This might be the gold standard. This might be 1A, but this is certainly 1B. I really think if you're going to read this, you're going to get better. And for $10 for such a small commitment of time to read the whole thing, you really will not regret it. Really like this book a lot. Would gladly recommend to any level sports bettor, even some of the advanced folks out there. It's just going to help, and it's just so easy to have and so many easy tools you can add to your toolbox. Thanks for watching, folks. This has been The Complete Guide to Sports Betting by Kevin Dolan. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe below. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you think of this book. Let me know if you have another book in mind that you'd like me to read and do a review for. I'm always scouring the internet for more sports betting books. If you have a good suggestion, I would love to hear it. I'm Mike Wade. You can catch me on Twitter at @TheRealTTOMike from TriviaThrowdownOnline.com. It's been a pleasure, folks. Until next time, peace.